For the first time in U.S. history, more than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in a single year, and driving the epidemic is fentanyl.
This would be how much cocaine somebody would have to ingest to kill them. This is the approximate number of prescription pills. This is the amount of heroin. Fentanyl, you're gonna have to bring that camera up here real close to see it. This much fentanyl would kill you and I if we split it.
Fentanyl does not discriminate. Steve is a retired police officer, his daughter Jessica, a victim. It's taken the lives of actor Michael K. Williams, rapper Mac Miller, Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs, and children across the country.
This is my son, Alexander. He died at 14 years old from fentanyl poisoning.
Including a 13-year-old who died of a fentanyl overdose in school. Dealers are no longer lurking on street corners. They're on e-commerce sites and social media apps targeting our children in their bedroom. This synthetic opioid is primarily manufactured in foreign labs, smuggled into the U.S., and often mixed with other street drugs.
2,500 people would be killed by that amount of fentanyl. Does that sound like a drug to you? Does that sound more like a poison?
It's in heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and marijuana. Criminal drug networks are also mass-producing millions of pills that look exactly like legitimate painkillers and anti-anxiety drugs, but with fentanyl, one pill can kill. In the last 2 years, fentanyl has killed more young Americans than COVID. Fentanyl teen deaths have reportedly tripled, and it's now the #1 cause of death for Americans 18 to 45. So how do we stop this fentanyl roulette from killing our kids and our country? Joining us, the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, Administrator Anne Milgram. Administrator Anne, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Break down for us just how bad this drug epidemic is.
Well, doctor, we're in the middle of a devastating opioid and overdose epidemic. We lost 100,000 American lives last year, and it is being driven by fentanyl. 64,000 of those lives were lost to individuals who were poisoned by the drug fentanyl. It is a public health crisis. It's a public safety crisis. And to us, we are devoted every single day to thinking about how we can stop fentanyl from being mass produced by the Mexican criminal networks, by the cartels, and how we can stop it from flooding our communities and harming our communities with overdose deaths and violence.
Administrator Milgram, I'm in the hospitals daily. I do consultation psychiatry. So part of my job is doing detox for people that come in, and I'm just seeing this firsthand every day. And you have an incredible job. You oversee 5,000 special agents, 800 intelligence analysts in 239 offices across the US, and 91 foreign offices in 69 countries. It's really an incredible position that you have. If you could tell us, how is this drug permeating our society?
What we know from our intelligence, from our worldwide operations, is that chemicals are mostly being sourced from China. They're being shipped now to Mexico, where the criminal drug networks, the cartels, and there are mainly 2 significant cartels right now in Mexico, what they're doing is they are mass producing fentanyl, and they're mass producing it in labs across Mexico. Some are small, some are gigantic super labs. What they're doing with that fentanyl is they are then flooding it into the United States by any means they can. The border, the ports, air, drones, any method at all that they can to get it into the United States. And one thing that's really important to know is that we now see fentanyl, not just fentanyl powder, that the cartels and the drug traffickers in the US are using to lace other drugs like cocaine and heroin and methamphetamine. They're also pressing it into fake prescription pills that the cartels are making to look almost identical to a real prescription pill. So someone who would go onto social media or would be on the internet, or even that might have a friend hand them a pill at a party, they might look at that and think it looks like an Oxy or a Percocet or a Vicodin, but in fact, it's fentanyl.